Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today. Remember, everyone needs a coach in life. Nobody makes it by themselves. A coach is so important is because he comes to push you to a limit where the God-given ability in you will come out of you and you can begin to live your best life now. This is why Action Coaching is so important, and certainly want to encourage you to let others know about Action Coaching. On today in our coaching session, we're going to talk about self-development. Yes, and that is important that we talk about that, because the biggest enemy that you are going to face in life is yourself. Because you do the best job of holding yourself back from your destiny. You the one do the best job from holding yourself from listening to positive instructions or putting yourself in position. It is all up to you. Now I know a lot of times people want to blame somebody else. Well, I didn't make it because so-and-so was talking about me, or so-and-so told me the wrong advice, and that's the reason I failed. But no, the reason you failed is because you could not overcome the enemy that you're looking at every single day in the mirror. That's the person you got to bring under subjection. That's the person that you got to convince to line up with the program that we are going to proceed in our life. It's amazing how that a lot of factors that affect us got absolutely nothing else to do with anybody else. I've heard people say, well, they got low self-esteem and don't even know what the meaning of it is. Now, how can you have low self-esteem and you don't even know what the meaning of it is? Probably somebody told them that they didn't have no self-esteem and they believed what they said, but they have absolutely nothing to do with who you are. So, we found out that the first important step in self-development is overcoming you. When I began to believe that there was more in me and more in life for me, the first person I had to have a conversation with was me. Now, why is that so important? Because if you are not convinced, the minute you start having a conversation with somebody else, then they're going to appeal to the very thing you want to do. You're going to talk your own self out of it. And you won't give it a try because you have talked your own self out of your success. But I'm excited that I learned that the very person I had to work on was me. And if I could get me under subjection, great things were going to happen for me. I remember one time a person told me that they wanted to get their body in shape and they wanted to exercise and they wanted to lose an extra amount of pounds. So they said, well, I need somebody to work out with me. What they were really saying is the other me said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to put myself through this. So they thought if they got somebody else to make them do that, they would do it. But I found out if you don't want to do it, it's not going to happen. If you don't want to change yourself, it is not going to work. If you have not made the decision about yourself, ain't happening. You got to work on you. Amazing thing is when you begin working on you, you are not concerned about so many other things that's going around you. You don't even have any time to be getting jealous or talk about anybody else because, hey, I'm too busy working on myself. I knew that I had a lot to do with my success And I didn't have any time to be critical of anybody else. I simply had to work on me. And I was determined to be the best me I could be. And so I started working on me. I started developing my self-work. And that's what I began to do. Now, point number one, someone said, well, how do I begin to work on me? Well, you got to have a goal for yourself. Now, before I get into this goals, I'm going to tell you, I'm not starting with these all lofty goals that I want to be this and I want to be that. I'm saying you got to have a goal that first decide, what am I willing to do to get to where I want to be? Not everybody else around you. I don't want to be like nobody else. I just want to be the best me I can be. Now, what can I do in order to develop myself? What steps am I willing to take to develop me? Now, the first step to that, I know a lot of people ain't going to like to hear it. But in order to develop yourself, you got to decide what are the things in your life that are holding you back that you got to let go. Holding on is easy, letting go is difficult. Nothing wrong with holding on if it's moving you in the right direction. But you got to learn to let go of everything that is holding you back or pulling you down. Sometimes hanging out with the wrong group of people. Sometimes the way you eat or pursue your habits. Certain things you got to let go. Some things like you used to being late because you just late. Now you got to let that go. And you got to come early and stay late when you're working on yourself. It's going to take that type of determination. And you got to have a plan as to how you're going to develop yourself. That's why I always get a vision of where you want to go, because you have got to have a plan. Some people plan of developing themselves is being like somebody else's definition of what you're supposed to do. I'm assured that there are a lot of people living somebody else's life that they created for you rather than enjoying your own life, rather than being your own self, rather than striving for the things that God have given you that'll bless you too. And furthermore, you don't need nobody else's approval or scorecard on how you're doing it. All you need to do is to begin to develop yourself. Understand that developing yourself in one area open a host of possibilities for you to develop yourself in one area. Now understand, my second point is, just because you made the decision to have a plan for you, sure ain't gonna happen instantly. It's gonna take a process. It's gonna take going through some things. It is not going to be easy. I know we're living in a generation where most people want success to act like the computer. You just type it in, Google it, and bam, it comes up on your screen. But unfortunately, success is not like that. There is a process you've got to go through, and you got to be determined you are going to go through it. That's why they call it self-development. God have given you life. God have given you ability. God wants to give you a goal and a vision of what you can be. But God is going to leave it up to you to decide you want to be all that you can be. God is not going to make you do anything. If God don't make people serve Him, why should He turn around and make people be something that they have not decided they can be? Even though it's their destiny, even though it's already in them, but they have not made the decision yet to decide who they are going to be. I'm excited about this self-development. I told you, you got to get a plan. Then number 2, you got to let go. There are things you got to let go of. When I wanted to be what I felt I was supposed to be, there were some friends I had to let go. Not that they weren't good people, but all of us weren't pulling in the same direction. There are some situations that I enjoyed being in for that time and period, but I had to let those situations go because they were not good for where I had decided I want to go. Now I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Tap somebody and say, I'm made for miracles. You know why God allowed things to happen to you? He want to teach you that there are about 5 people got it. He want to teach you that there are. So whatever the devil knock you back with, God said now's the time to show it. That he can't keep me there. Y'all ain't talking. Now is the time to let the devil know. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
Welcome back. I left off talking about how there were some situations I like to be in myself, but I understood that they were not conducive or helpful to where I wanted to go as far as my self-development. And I had to make the decision that I was going to let those places go. Because if you want to be great and you want to be all that God has designed for you to be, you got to make the decision. And once you make the decision, this is going to be the hardest work you've ever done in your life. But on the flip side, it's going to be the most rewarding work that you've ever done in your life. Many people will applaud your success, even attack your success, even be envious of your success. All of those things happen. But nobody is there to applaud your success when you're in the suffering part, in the developing part, when you're becoming you that nobody else got to see. So you have to understand that this is the way it is, and this is how it's going to happen. I believe this, that people tend to applaud the person that they see. But the person that they see know that the success is based on the work they did when people were not looking at them. Nobody saw me become what I become, and when I became it, act like it happened overnight. That's because they weren't on the other side of the coin and had to understand the nights I didn't have no money, no hope, no friends, nowhere to go. Sometimes didn't even have anything to eat. But I was determined that I was going to be something different in life. That I was going to develop myself to the place that I wouldn't have to go through that anymore. Understand that being great and being highly successful is a lonely walk. Yes, there's a great deal of enjoyment about it, but just the things that you have to do that nobody else understands unless they go through the process, you have to understand it's going to be a real lonely walk. When everybody is looking to you to supply something and they don't even have an idea what you have to go through each and every day, all comes with it, but it's a part of you making the necessary self-improvement. Many things come along in life to help you be tougher, to help you develop in a way that will help yourself. Many lessons you learned in unfortunate situations, but it's all about self-development. I didn't have time to go away mad at somebody else. My sole goal was, how can I get better? How can I be more exceptional the next time? I didn't have time to focus on their comments or their opinions or quote unquote their joy and even something happened. I simply had to stay focused on me because I knew the biggest person that could help me was already inside of me. And I found out that if I be the best me I can be, nobody can beat me being me because there's only one of me. And I started to put that process in to self-development. The reason a lot of this does not happen in this day and time is so many people expect for you to lay everything out and they just walk in and be an instant star or a instant success, quote unquote. They don't know what it's like to go through the hard times. They don't know what it's like to go through the trials. They don't know what it's like to be doing something and nobody know who in the world you are and not even speaking your name. But you got to tell yourself, I'm going to keep going no matter what. I talk to myself, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up on my dream. I'm not going to give up on my vision. I don't care how long it takes or how much I have to go through. I made up in my mind. I'm going to see this all the way through. I didn't say I had to make it up in somebody else's mind. I made it up in my mind that I'm going to see this through to the very end because the self-development is most important. I found out this too. The people will talk about self-development, but they won't even spend money to help themselves develop. Most of the time, people will spend a lot of money on things that got nothing to do with making them improve. You can go buy a lot of nice clothes, spend a lot of money on nice clothes. Nothing wrong with that. But just because you spend the money on the nice clothes and you don't have yourself together physically or personally, that doesn't make you look any better. You have to understand that you got to get self together. And whatever you do to self, it will show in everything that you do. I want to challenge you in this year that we are living in. Start putting down some goals for self. Not for everybody else, for you. You're the only one got to be satisfied. Don't lose weight so you can show the other people you lost weight. Lose it for you. Don't get in better shape so you can tell other people, look at me, look how good I look. No, do it for yourself. Because when you do it for yourself, you brought under control your biggest enemy, and that's you. Stop trying to live somebody else's dream, but live your own. And that's what self-development does for you. The reason you have a coach is a coach is not trying to change you. A coach is trying to help you be the best you that you are. Because what's in you, the coach want to bring it out of you. We don't want you to try to be something that you're not. And so many times I tell people, don't want to change them, want to make them the best that they can be concerning themselves. And when they get that attitude in their heart, they'll start making the necessary changes. Because I strive for excellence, because I want to strive for excellence. Not because somebody else wants me to strive for excellence. I want to strive for excellence because I made up in my mind. I'm going to strive for excellence in every single thing I do. So I ain't got to stand around and wait on somebody else's approval saying that I've been excellent or saying that I've been good. I know when I put everything in it, I got the satisfaction of knowing I did my best. And I can live with that. It's exciting to know that you got an opportunity for self-development in this day and time. And it's time you start working on yourself. You start changing you, equipping yourself to achieve the greatness that you desire. And I can assure you that some amazing things are going to happen in your life. Nobody would have ever saw it coming. But when you work on self, you're going to see it coming all of the time. And you're going to live to enjoy the satisfaction of self-development. Isn't it exciting to know that now you're going to start working on yourself? I want you to reach out to me via social media and let me know. So Bishop Jackson, these are the things I start working on myself. Not for somebody else, on myself. I am taking charge of my own self-development, and that God is going to do some great things in me. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited for you finally enjoying yourself because you're working on self-development. And I got news for you. When you're satisfied with yourself, you won't spend as much time wondering what others think about you. Probably others got so much to think about you because they're unhappy with themselves. But if they were happy with themselves, working on their own self-development, they would applaud you just like you would applaud them. I think it's great when somebody get themselves together. I got nothing bad to say when you becoming the best you that you could become, because I know that's the same thing I want to do. Those are the same habits I have each and every day. I want to be the best me that I can be. Who am I trying to be like? Wiley Jackson. Who am I? Wiley Jackson. So may both of us be satisfied with being Wiley Jackson. And that's what self-development is all about. Make a plan, write it down, reach out to me, and let me know your goals for yourself. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Welcome back. Thank God for you being with us on today, and I trust that you've been blessed by Action Coaching. Let others know about Action Coaching so that they can be a part of all of the tips that I'm sharing with you. I'm just simply sharing tips to motivate you to get started And you will learn even more things once you get started, because that's what coaching is all about. And I certainly thank God for you. I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a financial seed of support for Action Coaching. Help us to continue to spread these coaching tips around the world. And it is through your financial support that we are able to do that. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to give unto Action Coaching. No gift is too small, and of course, no gift is too big, because it helps us to continue to expand Action Coaching and reach so many people with these coaching tips. Action Coaching is just designed to give you suggestions for you to decide to work on and change your life. Before I get out of here, it's just a joy to make this special announcement. I want you to be a part of the Action Creative Village Back to School Bash. We're going to be giving away school supplies. We're going to be having food. We're going to be having a great time. And guess what? It's going to be hosted at the site of the Action Creative Village. Yes, we're going to be there. We're going to have an awesome time. Let your friend, let your neighbor know. Let all of the kids know. It's going to be some exciting things for them, and we definitely going to have a great time. And of course, the Sunday following our back to school bash, we're going to have a special Sunday morning service that's going to be held at the Georgia International Convention Center, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to share a special word with you. So I'm challenging you. Join us both days, because it's going to be a weekend of action, a weekend to remember, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your financial support. Thank you for joining us each and every week. And as I do all of the time, share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.